Hello everyone, my name is Linda McQueen. My friends call me Linda McQueen. Welcome to my interpersonal communications project. Today we're going to be talking about communications, effective communications. My outline starts with my introduction, my overarching goal, enlarging the conversation, my background influences, behavioral blend, potential barriers, noise pollution, and I'm gonna give you my plan of action. What is interpersonal communication? To me, interpersonal communications is when two people are talking, dialoguing, communicating with each other. One person talks, the other person listens, and vice versa. And according to Burley Allen, effective listening involves not only tuning in to others, but tuning in to ourselves. That is one of the explanations I think best sums up what exactly interpersonal communication is. My goals to become a more effective communicator is to optimize my empathetic listening skills. That is one of the things I found out through this course that I'm very weak at, and that's communicating and empathetic listening. I'm very weak at that. So this course is going to improve me. As you can see already, I just started, and I know you can tell that I need a lot of improvement. And first, I'll start with enlarging the conversation. According to my CSD personality type, it'll be helpful for me to develop the following skills to successfully enlarge the conversation. And that main skill is to become a level 1 listener. And a level 1 listener is an empathetic listener. That's where the listeners refrain from judging the talker and place themselves in the other's position, attempting to see things from that speaker's point of view. I have to work on that because I do have problems in that area, big problems. Also, the characteristics of an empathetic listener, these are the characteristics that I myself outlined that I need to work on. And that's being aware and in the present moment instead of just wandering off whenever somebody's talking, especially if they talk a little long, I'm wandering off. I need to work on that. And acknowledging and responding to the speaker. When a person is talking, I need to acknowledge, let that person know that I'm really listening to you, instead of just thinking to myself, is it going to stop? But I really need to acknowledge that speaker and respond to what they're saying, and not let myself get distracted. I'm very easily distracted sometimes. And I need to pay attention to the speaker's total communication, including their body language. I have a problem in that area because I don't really pay attention to the body language or give the speaker my total attention. And that is a huge area also that I need to work on. Suspending one's own thoughts and feelings to give attention solely to the listener. And in that aspect, when somebody is talking and you are the listener, you should really acknowledge that person. Let them know that you are really listening to them, instead of thinking about what you're going to do next week, next month, or as soon as you get up out of the place. And that way you're not giving that person the attention and respect that they deserve while they're speaking. And I really do need to develop an okay attitude, because I'm pretty weak in that area also. So those are some things that, a lot of things that I really need to work on if I want to become an effective communicator. And a little bit of my background, just to show you how I grew up, and maybe that's got some effect on the way that I communicate today as an adult. First, I grew up in a household where both of my parents worked, so I was often left alone to care for myself a lot, and that put a lot of responsibilities on me, and it made me very independent and conscious about performing tasks and doing things just right and things. And growing up, my hobbies was art. I used to love art, love to draw, and music, listen to music, all types of music. I didn't really have a special genre that I preferred. And next, my CSD behavioral blend. And that is me. I'm CSD. And as far as the DISC personality model goes, and one thing I want to say is that test was very accurate for me. And the characteristic of the CSD personality type is that we're task-oriented, cautious and stable and determined. And we really don't like to speak in front of crowds. That's a really weak point for me as far as at this point in my life. I'm going to continue to work on that. Also, that's a big thing that I need to work on. And small groups, I really don't have that much problem with. It's just the large crowds. But one-on-one, I do better with one-on-one even than small groups. And I need to be more positive and enthusiastic instead of just like, hey, let's get to the bottom line and that's it. So I really need to be more positive about that. The negatives of the CSD blend, my blend, as you can see right here, it's a long line. And over here, I have the things that I really want to work on to improve on that. And that's the calculating part, the analytical, the contemplative, the guarded, and the masked, because I can really be guarded and masked as far as communication, because I don't really like to put myself in a position where I think in my mind it might make me vulnerable and things. So I sort of just show the people what I, want them to see. And I want to work on that too. That's a big issue that I need to work on. But I do have some positives, and I was glad to see the positives from my CSD behavioral blend. And it says I'm outgoing and active. I like that. Gentle and soft. Decisive, sure, certain. I really like this one right here. Admirable, elegant. Wow. Never even thought I was all that. So that's some good stuff. I'm gonna keep that. I'm not even gonna mess with that at all. And to give you a little bit of the blend breakdown, is my D tendencies are firm, strong, decisive. My I tendencies are outgoing, active, persuading. My S tendencies are peaceful and calm and flexible. I like that S. My C tendencies are calculating, analytical, straight, precise, organized, all that. I'm not too crazy about those C tendencies, but those are the ones kind of sticking out that I really do need to work on. Now the tendencies, here it goes, the tendencies that need improving. My D tendencies that need improving is the risk-taking part, the seriousness, and the unwavering part. And the I tendencies that need improving is the preppy and playful and spirited. And I don't really know if a person, I didn't even know I was that person. But I think if a person got those type of tendencies, why improve on them? It seems okay, but maybe I need to work on not being so happy. I don't know. So I'm gonna look into that a little bit more. And my S tendencies are not very gentle, and they're not very soft, not very humble. That right there, I really need to work on. My C tendencies are very proper, formal, writing, correcting, and pondering. Those, it says I need to work on those. I kind of like that. Inquisitive, questioning, I kind of like that. But I'm really going to work on the ones where I know it's just just out there. And barriers. Next I'm going to talk about the potential barriers to effective communication. And I got a lot of barriers, as you've already seen. The barriers are just huge. But I narrowed them down to 3. Biased listening. That's one of my barriers. And that's when we form an opinion about the level and value of what will be said. I am guilty as charged. Before, I didn't even think about it until we were reading the Burley and Allen book that talked about biased listening. And I realized, wow, I'm a biased listener. So that is a barrier, and it's a problem. And the solution to that, I feel that might work for me, is I carefully listen to the other and encourage next thing. And that's your encouraging is a next thing move. It actively and relentlessly keeps the collaborative construction process going. And next thing is what I'll use to try to counteract some of that biased listening that I have. Wow, I don't even like the way that sounds, but it describes me. Barrier number 2, flat-brained syndrome. Peterson described the flat-brain syndrome. I never heard of flat-brain syndrome until I read about flat-brain syndrome. And you know what? I got flat-brain syndrome too. And that's when people tend to think that others are the problem. That's a problem. Yeah, I'm flat-brained. I'm coming out of that too. I'm coming out of it. And that's engaged more actively in the talker-listener process, and where each person takes turns talking and listening. Key, take turns talking and listening. Wow. I need to really work on that. Barrier number 3 is being the faker. Being the faker, I got that down to a science. I mean, it's like, that's just me. I don't like it, but yeah, it's pretending to listen when my mind is somewhere else. I mean, people can just talk, and I'm there. But you know what? I'm actually thinking about what I am going to do when I leave here next week, next month, and what I intend to achieve next year. That's just bad. The faker. And I smile every once in a while, I nod my head. I ain't heard a word they say. That's just fake. I'm going to work on that. That really needs working on. And solution, I'm going to start with the solution, and that's to deal with this. I will try to be present. I mean, try to be right here with that person for real, genuinely. And I must make a conscious effort to to actively stay in the conversation. And that's where I'm going to start. I mean, I got a lot of work to do on that right there. And another barrier is the internal noise pollution. And internal noise pollution is anything that's annoying, distracting, or harmful, to others, or harmful to the speaker, especially. The internal noise pollution can come from like illnesses. If you're sick, you're just not feeling good. You're just like, oh, I'll be glad when this is over with so I can go lay down. You're not really paying attention. Stress. I'm so stressed out. I'm stressed out right now. Okay, and then the personal beliefs, like if somebody's talking and you don't actually agree with them because that's not what you believe personally. That can be a distraction. Pollution, bills. Oh, is it that time of month again? Bills. Ooh, that's just bad pollution. Somebody get the vacuum cleaner. And relationship problems. Those are internal noise pollution that distracts you when you're really trying to have a conversation with someone. And the external noise pollution comes from the environment around us. And an example of that is traffic. You listen to somebody talk and somebody blow the horn, you go, what? You just get all distracted. Speaker talking too loud or too soft, and you're like, what they say? And then, they don't even be interested anymore. That is distracting. And the television, don't let a good show come on when somebody's trying to talk. That television, that's a bad distraction. Cell phones, soon as the man saying something halfway good, there go the cell phone. You gotta answer and see who it is. It could be important. So those are external noise pollution. Now, these are my solutions to those problems. For the internal noise pollution, first I want to clarify what the speaker is saying. The more clarity that a person has, the more interested in the speaker's conversation they have. And focus on one topic at a time. When somebody's talking, they might bring out several different topics and you bundle them all together, and that's just noise pollution. So I need to learn how to focus and use that talk or listener card like they spoke about in the test. You talk, I listen. And for the external noise pollution, just look directly at this talker. Look directly at him. And grab on to what he's saying. And then, okay, refrain from looking at your watch. What time is it? I'll just refrain from that. See, I don't even have a watch on. So, okay, got that one down. Focus on what the speaker is saying. Focus. Concentrate. And turn those cell phones off. See, they always ring when you're trying to listen to somebody. So just turn them off. And that's what I'm going to do. But see, I got a plan. I got a plan of action for all of these distractions and becoming a better communicator and all of that. I got an action plan. Here it is. Okay, I got a lot of things I need to do, but I'm just going to go over just a few of them. And first of all, I think the most important one is when Stuart was talking about whenever you're talking to somebody, especially when it comes to enlarging a conversation, it'd be good for you to really know some things about that person, their background, their culture, their religion, where they come from, some of their views. Really get to know that person. And once you really get to know that person, then you will be more interested in communicating with that person as a talk.